right, let's go ahead and call the meeting to order. 6:59 p.m. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States. All in favor? Motion is approved. Moving on to number 2, presentations, proclamations, and visitors. Either station members of the Army or 0, not subject to the public hearing.
There's those two that you have.
Mayor, you actually have, I think, some speaker cards. You could call each individual up from their name.
You have written school plan development. Afterwards, I know we're limited to 5 minutes. The council will try to address names within their property. If it's outside of our property, we will listen to your comment and make you orders. When speaking, you please state your name and the street that you are on. We will call Dory. Or the rest of the last name. Welcome.
My name is Lori Watson, and we just recently purchased the property at 228th Street in a business called 11 PE Veterans. And appreciate Ron's been helping us out, getting things done in there. It was a lot to do in a short time. He took good care of us. So appreciate that. Just have a couple of concerns on the docket that the city has talked to us about. And one of the items is storage that we have 3 court cases, and that's the reason we purchased the property for wanted to be able to have to put things, because we have a lot of inventory. We have farm tables, benches, and things that can't be on the side that need to be out, and the agreement was that we could have 2 20-foot containers that were metal that kind of have a fence built around them. And honestly, with moving to here, all the expenses with that and all of the things we have to do with the landscape is about $7,000. Just as a small business, I just can't afford my computers right now, and I can't afford to put up a fence. And so I'm just kind of at the mercy of, what do I do? And it's funny season right now, so I'm trying to do the best I can. All of the things that you're asking me to do. And then the second one is to get access to make our lot, put this 2-day lot into one lot. And I was whether it's attractive to us about buying the property, but I'm not getting. And so in the future, it was great if we could sell it off or, have some flexibility in the future. And so I'm just, and again, I don't have the funds or the money or time or resources right now to be able to figure out, the landlines and how those lay, and it's just, it's a lot of right to process. And so, I don't know, I'm kind of at a loss because we've done through a lot of hoops to be able to do the things that we've got plans to do. But I just feel like, I was told that if we were in the beginning, if we were like a Ford dealership and trying to have our inventory outside, all of our cars would line up, but I don't see what difference it is to treat our micros, our inventory, and make it look nice out there. What can we do with our breakers? Sorry, I shouldn't have looking at you guys. Sorry. Does it just sit down? Does it count on your questions?
If you come see me tomorrow, there's probably some of that we can address. We put together a very fast administrative approval to get Dory's business approved before it was opened. And so Dory had a very quick application, and we made a decision based on that application. There may be some things we can, now that you've had a chance to move in, we can come back and look at some things and do a modification on some of it, not all of it, because some of our codes just don't allow some of it. But I was thinking about this the other night after we were at the park, and there's probably something we could do with the lot line adjustment. But come see me tomorrow. It's a long conversation.
Thank you so much.
Next, we have Jen Wallace.
Okay, if I wear my hat,
Yes.
yes, I'm extremely comfortable with my hat. You hear me okay on this thing? Then Jim Wallace, I live at 305 Main Street, in front of the post office. I came down to ask a question, but then it was over, but I think it's been place. When the fire department bought that lot to the east, and then burned the house down, and they asked me, okay, to take the wood fence down, because they were gonna put up a 5-foot cyclone with slats in it. I said, that'd be great, we can go out there and replacing fence posts. That's like 5 years ago, and so far there's no fence. And what got me thinking about that, just a couple days ago, some young people were walking through my yard, carrying their drinking bottles. They dropped them in my yard, broke 3 bottles. They went to a neighbor and asked for some more bags to put their good bottles in. I think he gave it to them, but they left the broken ones down, then they found a stick that pounded them into the ground with. Well, it didn't go in the ground, it went into a bazillion pieces, you know, that's layered a lot, right? Yeah, so anyway, so that's why I'm here, just wanna know. I don't know about getting that fence put back up. I found out that the fence was on my property at the time. I didn't know the time when the fire department had a survey. So I moved 5 inches. That took in the fence. Anyway, any help you can give me on this, I appreciate it. Roy spoke to Ron about this. I had spoke to the fire chief. Just today, when we was right, bottles on my yard. So bad, but I have a lawnmower that area retired, and I like to keep it there. Okay, that's all I have to say. Thank you very much. I'm listening to you.
Yes. Jane Bickering.
I'm gonna piggyback on Jim. I live at 150 North Third Street. Right across the empty lot and everything. Angelica knows me. 5 years ago, they took the fence down, I parked some trailers there, big cargo trailers. All I've got to say is the fire department, they got the vehicles in. They come out, they warm up the vehicle, and let the vehicle run for an hour with the dog. That are just right through our front. I come outside, have a cigarette, and we don't smoke inside, sit in the chair. So that's like right directly in the camp. And we've had that now for 3 years. So I'm kind of here with Jim. It's been 5 years. It's down. I know that they've gotten a couple of new trucks. I know they fit equipment. They just hired a new person. Can't believe $5,000 break the fire department for us. And can't put the fence up. I watch people write hate, nothing but people. All this garage. When they cut through property and disappears to the other side. I watched lots of teenagers. Poor Jim and Jack, which is likely there for 20 years. I'm busting their butt trying to maintain that property, that yard. It's one of the loveliest yards around. And now that the fence is down, people are just walking through and stuff. It's not looking as pretty. I think that's all I have.
Thank you. I want to just say for the record that while the fire department does provide services to the Aumsville, they are not part of the community itself. It is separate budget, separate funding is completely different. we did work with them and it's focused on, I encourage you to reach out to the chief and see about some of the media. If we are able to, I would try to be totally meeting, to figure out what's going on. But again, they are separate funding, separate entities that provide services to the city.
And reach out to the fire. They're the ones that-
We don't have to visitors. We can have some visitors tonight.
Yeah, they were actually set under presentations because I think Deanna has a little bit of a presentation and I think I prompted you to bypass that. I apologize.
In charge of the contract processes, and then the weekend, we had a coronation, and I asked them to come, so I could introduce them to the city council. First, we had Bailey Young. Come up here, sorry. Brian Blizzard. We have Nova Lolo. And Bella Heinbach. These are your 2024 Aumsville Cornfest princesses. And they're excited to help out at the Cornfest this year. You guys have any questions for them or?
I was so excited. Thank you for coming. I apologize that I had to work Saturday. I would have been really support. I guess the other question I have is, what are you looking forward to this year? Each of you, what I'm.
I'm looking forward to just all the events and becoming closer to the community. That's we moved in last year almost, and it's just nice to learn about the community.
What I want to say is I really love Aumsville and it's a great place to live. It is. Not so long. Yeah. What about you? You look excited. The word is my favorite too. What about you? Are you happy? That's the better one. I love education. I'm very educated. Are you guys gonna be collecting candy or throwing candy? Throwing candy. Are you gonna pick some for your pilots team? So. Can we get pictures?
Maybe the council could kind of stand and gather behind. Be great. Deanna, would you come to this side?
There you go. All right, great. 3, 2, 1, please. Okay, look at that.
All right. Moving on. We want to never bring the consent agenda, may I have a motion to approve that? All those in favor? Consent agenda. Moving on to 4, public hearing, the council will now open the hearing on the agenda item for today. State road engineering. 7:14 p.m. We invited Finance Officer Josh Boyer to present the status.
You guys, no need to. So this is, one of the. Check, we had to check off on our list, but this. Basically, we're hoping to receive money from the state revenue sharing program, which is basically from, liquor sales, right, tax. We had a whole, like, one more, we had a budget meeting, last night. And then the second one, we have that here, where we officially accept and appropriate the state revenue sharing funds. We have typically in the past, we accepted and appropriated into the park fund to support the park program. Year after year, so that's typically one of the funds that's a little bit underfunded. Compared to the other years, we don't have operating revenues to work from. For the most part. So we propose this year. It's operation.
Would any member of the audience or in person on Zoom like to submit their comments? Right. Online?
No one online.
Are there any staff got additional comments? None. I will now close the public hearing and now. EDM and move on to council comments. Council, any questions or comments? Being none, is there a resolution for 07 dash?
Resolution 074 certifying municipal services as presented by staff.
All in favor? Is there a motion for resolution 0824?
Resolution 0824 declaring city selection to receive state revenues as presented by staff.
All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Moving on to Ravine. Council has other than the public hearing on agenda item for the fiscal year 2024 budget hearing at 7:17 p.m. Josh continues with the finance.
So last month, we convened the budget committee, May 14th, to develop the fiscal year budget. Since then, we updated our beginning cash balance projections, for next year. Most of them were pretty close to one. The only difference that we have is now we have more current information. Significantly more expenditures. And more of the grant funds that are coming through us. And so we don't need to update the cash balance for like how much expend on the eventual. We will have a beginning fund count. Beginning of the year, we will have less money than in next year. So we have some adjustments here in the item to update the beginning cash balances as well as to make some adjustments to the revenue lines and then the corresponding expenditure lines that will be used to manage that need.
CA cardio here, I'm just going to make a side comment. So all the appropriations stay the same, except for the one. Appropriations haven't changed, it's just that one.
And it results in a reduction in the expenditures, which for instance, why we make changes by you can raise expenditures by 10%, but you can reduce the money to without having to keep that.
Would any member of the audience or on Zoom like to comment from this? There is none. Does staff have any additional comments? And that close the public hearing at 7:19. Does council have any comments? Seeing none, is there a motion for resolution 09?
24, 25 year budget. Levy taxes.
$3.
For 1,000.
All those in favor? Moving on to old business, there is a business. Moving on to new business, agenda item 6A. Higher subdivision manhole repair. Now invited, Director, Matt.
Matt could not be here tonight, so.
So, City Administrator Ron Martin will present.
You're not looking like yourself, man.
So I can go out and pick this one up. So, as council knows, one of the things. Inflow filtration of stormwater. And it's something that we constantly battle, and basically that's where stormwater gets into our manhole covers and our pipes. Sometimes that's from groundwater. That's where the cracks. Various pieces of infrastructure. And so this is a project that we wanted to try to defend. And basically what it is to repair 18 manholes. And basically what they'll do is they'll cut out the flaking and peeling pieces and they'll seal it with new products. And so there's money in our fund 19604 specifically for this purpose. The cost of repair we did, went out and did 3 informal bids. We received 2 and 1 no response, or we did. And the lowest cost was $37,120. There may be some additional paving based on work that's done, and that could be up to $7,500. That would be through a small works contract we can do with it.
I know what sort of. There was down in the warranty on the little. Purpose with this one, I want to be warranty.
There is no warranty, but these manholes, these were put in as part of development. A developer installed these originally, and we're past that warranty period. They bond for a year after the completion of, so 2 years after the completion of the project, and we're 5 or 6 years. So we have a center all over the city. This just happened to be a group that we've been able to identify some significant.
I would approve the ground check proposal for the rehabilitation of 18 manholes in the amount of $37,120 for fund 019-644.
All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Moving on to agenda item 6B, Water Street, Earl Freezer.
Yeah, this is basically a contract. Anytime we have a developer, it's a contract, and it's coming before you tonight because we have our agreement is to exercise our fees. The developer likes the law. The area that's good use for parks, and so we agreed to execute what's called a park open space or park fee. And typically what we do is we just try to negotiate some sort of a value somewhere. This particular side of the contract. 60,000. The contractors are 74. It's also paid for this type of permit to allow us to do all of the inspections on the infrastructure that he's going to install, and it's $21,650.20. And then at the final plat, when the final plat is recorded, that's the tax plat, $60,000. And so if you have any questions, it's a fairly simple agreement, it's in your packet. And it really just executes things like bonding, all those things that you do with a small subdivision. 15 lots. Excuse me, subdivision. Didn't see.
Very much.
Move to approve the development proceed.
All in favor? Okay. Motion passes unanimously. We don't, I have another, city administrator report. Right.
Yeah, so I typically start off with a police report, and you know, the police have been active. It's not that we have like an uptick of crime or anything in the city. It's just all of our officers are back from training. They're all out of the academy. They're offering up to and being the greatest out. Doing work with them and trying to do some program. Here, so there's a lot of contacts in the report. The second report that you have is the public works report. I don't know if they got I think this was pre our main water line break. They did get that repaired. They were coming last week. As council knows, we had a main water line break. And they took care of that fairly quickly. And then my report, really, there's things I can call out. One is that I attended the Marion County hearing for our UGB park application. As council recalls, when that came to council, you enacted an ordinance that said your ordinance would take effect when Marion County decision. Their notice of decision, they basically approved the expansion. Their notice of decision would be on July 10th, as they have to notice the LCD. And if they take action as expected, on that date, your action will become final. And then the only thing we would need to do would be so that project is almost in it a long time coming. So it's nice to get that done. There is one thing I did put in your packet. We have a property lien. I've given the details for you there, but basically this was a lien that began in like 2011 with a vacant project, and the property was really big with the city, so it was a property. Somewhere along the line, this had gotten lost in the shuffle, and the property had changed hands a number of times. Some of those transactions were rather informal. but we're three or three different property owners in. And I just think that this thing has been hanging around so long, it's really difficult. What I must do is basically withdraw, the lien. And, if you're amenable to that, I would just need a motion, and then I can take care of that. We could. It's a $2,000 lien. I mean, it is a good chunk of money, but, it's been hanging around for 12 or 15 years.
And she's the third property.
After the one that was assessed against, yes.
It was assessed against a property owner who sold it in an informal transaction. Similar along the lines, that person is more of a formal transaction. All of that stuff was pretty over. And then she sold it to a relative through some sort of informal. That relative did the last property we did, they went through the title process. The title company did not. It was when it you are we have to cover it. We found out.
It should be as against its personal property. That does not, these, we cannot make a railroad. It's federal law.
I was gonna have the road was listed. I'm gonna get a question. And then my first question you again, but it was like, how do we get off?
Yeah, it was the lien was assessed against both of the buildings. And Della's right, I don't think we can assess against the rail, we could assess against the building. It just being so convoluted and so far removed, I think it's just not worth us investing time. Yeah, I'll use your house.
What do you question? All those in favor? Motion passes.
Excellent, thank you. All right, and then, I really don't have anything else, in the report that's, major news. We are moved into our public workshop. There's a few punch list items, but they're really small. And minor, I was out there today and staff are making full use of that facility, and it's a welcome site. Happy to answer any questions if you have anything for me.
Was there no one around there? You just like stop by? Look at it?
Yeah. Just pop in. Yeah, usually, I don't know if they leave the front door. But you can go around. Usually. These issues involved for the day.
It's voting for science.
Very little.
We are to number 8, mayor and council report. Anyone have anything to present? Is there anything for the board?
I just put on the agenda there some information. There's the annual LOC conference is coming up in Bend in October. The registration hasn't opened yet, but just keep that in mind if you are interested in going. So.
I will see from then. Let's just talk about, I was watching from then. And we're planning, I suggest that you let the city know as soon as possible. The way that it works is The conference registration opened up like 8 o'clock in the morning, and by 8:20, the hotels are filled. One of them there in the house, so we want to make sure that staff have an opportunity to get a register and then we're putting those together. The other options, conference training. Yeah, these conferences are pretty beneficial. The one on them was bigger presentations and trainings.
Is this the same one that was in Eugene, that's in Bend now?
Yeah, it was between Portland, Salem, Eugene, and Bend. Yep. Transferred every year to Denver,
The year that I was in,
Yes.
and if I can sorry, I always remember those. There are no questions, and we have no executive session. We'll put it together, and we go ahead and adjourn the meeting. So